It's been a while. I haven't seen you since we hosted Miss Uganda.
Yes,
How have you been?
I've been okay. I'm so happy to see you.
Happy to see you too.
Yes, it's been
What
like
have you
2
been
years
up to?
actually.
I know. It's like 2 years.
It's 2 years.
Yes.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
What have you been up to?
Same
You have
old.
a podcast.
Yes, I do.
You're hosting several events.
Yes, I am. Thank God.
Tell me about them.
Yes, so my podcast is the Fabiola podcast. It's on AFRIMMA. It's available to.
What do you talk about?
It's basically a self-awareness, self-empowerment kind of podcast, and then I do have several guests on there for different kinds of shows. And then
tugenda nyeri
podcast.
kubanga tuli bangi abalimiza.
So podcast, okay, podcast is more like radio on the go. You know how you're in radio now, we're in studio, but podcast you can listen to it anywhere and you can do it anywhere. Yes, that's what it is, and it's sort of the new wave when it comes to radio. You know, yeah. So I'm really glad that we're picking it up slowly because there's so many other countries that already have it. So thankfully for us, we have AfriPods where you can actually get to join the podcast live. So I'm really, really happy about that. It's been 4 months now, and it's doing really well. The show is doing really well, and yeah.
You host people on that show, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah. So some episodes I have guests. Some it's just me.
What inspired you to do it?
What inspired me? First of all, my love for radio. I've done radio before, as on another station that I won't mention here. Yes, So when I left radio, I sort of wanted to do it again, but the time factor, because you people work very hard. Radio is very time consuming. It's very but I still wanted
to travel as much.
No, not really, not really. But
when you're doing normal radio.
Yeah, when you're doing normal radio, you cannot really multitask like that. And I'm a multitasker. Like I'm always having so many jobs at the same time. Yeah, so when you're doing radio, it's almost very hard to do that.
Now,
but with a podcast, I was like, okay, if I'm to get back on radio, I need to join the wave. I need to join the podcast wave. And also, I had like a few podcasts that I really listened to, the Fabiola podcast. Okay. Yes, that I really listened to, and I said, okay, I can actually do that.
Fabiola.
Yes.
It's on. In here also, I question you something. When you have do the radio, you don't do the whistle.
It took me a second to click, and I was like, "What?"
Fabiola, let's take it back to where it all started. That Fabiola in Miss Uganda.
Yes.
I must say, nakuwagira ne bakulya ne bawangula. Nakuwagira ne bakulya. And that just once. Let's take it back to that Fabiola yaingira Miss Uganda. I believe that was your first time okubera mu limelight.
Yes, it was.
How was the experience like? Now I've entered a different sector. I've entered something that I wasn't used to.
Yeah, well, I got into it, of course, with a plan.
What year was it?
2013. Yeah, I was fresh out of school. I was in my Essex back.
From what school?
London College. Yeah, and I wanted to do something that would create a platform for me to do other things like TV, like radio. So I did Miss Uganda.
So Miss Uganda just so that you get into TV.
Yeah, for it was just a platform, because I didn't know how to get into TV or any of those things, or even radio. But this industry, you need to somehow be somewhere in the industry for you to know what's happening, for you to know the auditions, for you to know, So for me, that's why I went into that. Of course, I wanted to win.
Miss Uganda, you as a person, out of Miss Uganda.
The platform, the exposure, it was, and also had a lot of support, which I didn't think I would. Yeah, so the platform, the exposure, and also things like the philanthropy work. That's where it started. Because before that, of course, I knew I had a heart to give and to love and to really care for people.
You give and love,
but that's where it started, so because we would go to orphanages, we would do all kinds of charity stuff. So
that reminds me.
Yes.
This Saturday, there's a group of students, Bavanos.
I want to find out. Yes. After Miss Uganda, you had a show on NTV. Be My Date. Yes. Tell us about it. Why did you stop doing it?
Why did I stop doing it? I actually resigned for reasons I will not mention again, because I've talked about it over and over again. And it's many years after. It's 3 years after. So I chose to move on with my life and not to keep indulging or poking at the negativity. That was 3 years ago. Yeah, but I had that show for about a year and a few months. Yeah, which was doing really well, and that was, my first
What are your thoughts about radio? I've done both.
Yes.
I like radio more. What are your thoughts about TV and radio? Which one do you prefer?
I love television. I love TV, but then also there's something about radio because you can really, really express yourself, especially if you're doing like a show with no filter. Like, I really love this show. I listen to you guys and you're hilarious.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I love radio for that fact, and you also get to talk to so many people. To interact with so many people from all walks of life. Yeah, yeah. So I love both, but television, TV has my
They told us they pay you 9 million on TV.
Let me tell you something. I don't want to. I will not. But yeah, it's. I'm not complaining. Yeah.
Let's take you a little bit about going to Be My Date.
Yes.
Abasinga bafuna report nebagamba Be My Date. Abantu abajja okufuna dates were staged. They are stage managed. They were actors. They were not real people looking for dates.
No, that was a lie.
You tell us.
Yeah, that was a lie. First of all, it was a reality show. A reality show in that, some weeks, because I was also producing the show. So some weeks, would have like thousands of people, and they would come through our Facebook. And I'm not even joking, and some would be from Gulu, from wherever. And we had to screen them. We had to hold some kind of like, I won't say audition, but some kind of screening. Yes, so would schedule them ahead of time and say, okay, this one can express themselves, so maybe they'll come next week. But then, of course, when you have 1,000 people wanting to be on a show where you only need 8 people, you're going to have all kinds of characters. So because maybe the people on the show were really funny, they were really, some of them were very raw and uncut. So people thought maybe we are telling them what to say or what to do, but no, it was real. And I think people can always tell when something is real and when something is staged.
Okay, still about TV, radio, and your days on the catwalk. Your most embarrassing moment ever in your career? No gamba, this was the worst ever. I don't want to remember this.
I remember, actually was that show, Be My Date. My very first day. Remember now, this was a 19-year-old girl, right? I've never been on TV. I've not had any kind of training. So
you were 19 back then?
Yes.
How come you didn't tell me?
So my very first day on set was the worst day of my life. Yeah, because I get on set and there's like, it was a huge production, there's like hundreds of people, and I'm like, okay, so who are these? How do I use the talkback? How do I use the microphone? And I had to get on there and do it. Yes, I'm like, and then first of all, the guests that I had on the show, the people that we had called to be a part of the show were the ones laughing at me. You understand? Like, they're on my show, but they're laughing at me. I'm like, oh my God, maybe this is not for me. So it took me also a while to get into the groove of the show and, sort of master my TV game. But that day I'll never forget because they were literally laughing at me.
What is your highlight more industry now from the days of Miss Uganda, radio, TV? What's your highlight? No, this is my career highlight.
I've had so many, but then because, things keep progressing and getting better, my highlight is being chosen to be the host of this year's AFRIMMA Awards. Yes, which are
next week. By the way.
Yeah, in Dallas, Texas. So that is my highlight.
So you're going to Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, so that's my highlight. It hasn't happened yet.
Then I'll put the catching or coming from Dallas.
We
talk about trade
Fabiola. Consent on man.
Ani?
Consent. Yakulia.
Talking about Korea, there was a big controversy. Was it like 1 year ago? They talked about London College where you went to school. They said almost 90% of all the hot girls are were used by certain school officials, and your name was so prominent. All the time. How was your experience like at that school?
First of all, I know why my name was prominent because I'm one of the few famous people from St. Lawrence. So obviously, they're not going to go and dig up people that they don't know. You know, so obviously.
So you tell us about that experience at school.
Yeah, no, I will tell you. Like, I was in that school for 6 years. You know, it gave me all the knowledge as a prefect. You know, reading news and all that stuff. But yeah, but because we were his students, he knew how to.
Did you get hit on by any of the officials at school?
Absolutely not. No.
Mogera kuli amchibi. Teyakuvuga ko
Monday to Friday.
Who are some of your favorite artists in Uganda? Like top 5?
Yes, top 5: King Saha, Vic Fameka, Lydia Jasmine. I love Shiba. I love
Bobby Wine.
Yeah, and I love Waiki Bender. Yeah, and I love Apers. So many, but
Go yagala banakuzima. Toyina bakadde bo man.
Minister for condolences.
Tona mutegeera neera. Kale omukazi wa Eagles ow'ebbinedde.
Yes, Mama. Is Fabiola your real name?
Yes, it is my middle name.
I think, so you're Anita Fabiola
Charimpa.
Oli mutoro.
Olimba. Nkube ebikondenze.
Ova kabali.
Ninga
kabali n'abakazi abalungi.
What's the thing called Chibogera ebyolukiga bimogera speed? What is it called?
What do you mean?
There's some things
Okutagura.
something like that.
Okutagura is a dance.
No, but there are those things we bogera no basanga bogera nyo.
Okuvugana. Okwejuga.
It's not about okwevuga, but that's also not
okwevuga.
Okay, what's that thing called, Mariat?
It's just the way of the whole language.
Yeah,
there's nothing I've seen about you like culturally.
We speak for you, Luchiga, then you can.
I want to feel that vibe. I'm a sexually transmitted Muchiga. My ex was a Muchiga. My ex was a Muchiga.
Kyobomanya abakyotala abasinga mukitegedde bava kabaali.
Era noli yali bava kabaali.
Ntegedde lwaki. Anti musayagala nkomukazi atali mukyotala.
Sokove mugulu fujjo.
Ne kabaali
gye bali. Soko tuvugireko muli mugulu. Mpozi kwa kuvuga.
Okay, Nanti you can ask something and respond.
Then I'll respond.
Enebaluwa ya
Muluchiga yogera muluchiga. Kuba tolumanyi biveeko. Mama tobyogera abatabimanyi. Eyo biseewo.
So you have a management, right?
Yes,
that does this because you have so many things you're doing. You influence for brands, you have a podcast, you're posting events, you do TV. Who manages you? Who gets you some of these big deals?
I do have a booking agency, Talent Africa. Yeah, I've worked with them for a while now, and also I have another team separate from Talent Africa. That's my own team. They do my publicity. They do all
What's
that
the
stuff.
team called?
It's just my team, the Fabiola team. Yeah, the Fabiola team. Yeah, Team Fabiola, whatever. Yeah, so, but I just have a big team, and they just make sure that, because we set goals for the year, and then during the year, like every 3-4 months, we review and see what is going to be possible, what's not going to be possible.
I saw you at Cannes. Do you want to join fashion or something?
No, Cannes is not about fashion. Yeah, it's a film festival. Yeah, it's the world's biggest film festival. So they invited me, and I was happy because it's not everyone gets that invite. So
talk that you went there because apparently you're dating like a huge basketballer.
No, people will always talk. Let me tell you, people
will
always talk. That is not anyone's business.
That's
not anyone's business. But let me tell you something. Like I've been now in this industry for some time to know that some topics you need to keep to yourself. Before I used not to do that though. Yeah, before I was all over the place, but the older I get and the more serious I become with my work and everything. Like I don't do anything by mistake anymore. You understand? Like everything.
What are your biggest mistakes?
Putting my relationships, my past relationships in online, like in people's business. Like you don't do that when you're a public figure because they'll come for you.
Kali katuvudde kumpe obuulira konze. Oyina kulya.
So tubateko by the way.
Kyembadde mubuuziza kati awo tuvuddewo. Mbuuzaayo akalala kamu. Nkulabikidde nti.
Kamuyambeko nga yagala okudduka n'akasimu ke.
Yeah.
I tell movie. This, by the way, is an actor.
No, he's
also in acting.
I don't consider myself an actress, but I want to, if opportunity arises, if, you know, but also not even just opportunity arising. I'm someone who creates my own opportunity.
Talking about
so
acting,
I
by
will
the way.
eventually do it.
Second Chance Uganda, you were part of the original cast.
Yes.
And of course, what else in your color, again, viral, where you cried. So, have you ever acted? Like before Second Chance, did you ever act?
Yes, I acted in Escape from Nuzira. That was my first. That was my acting.
What scene did you act?
I was like a boss. I don't want to say the word.
Have you ever kissed somebody on set?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
How far did you go with that kiss?
Not really far, because you know in Uganda they censor some things. So even if you do it on set, you're wasting your time.
Did you get any feelings after that kiss?
No.
Now, Fabiola, katinga gwatero genda ko mu America. Otero kulaba kulembo.
Tuleke nawe.
First of all, lembo ya.
Tebangama mwabira mu America.
Lembo ya. Ira jala boko posting
AFRIMMA.
Yes, AFRIMMA is next weekend. It's a whole weekend. You know, from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But the actual award show is on Sunday.
Who are you hosting with?
I'm hosting with Eric Omondi this year. Yeah, so I'm really
unomna
happy
Kenya.
about that. Yes.
Okay, akasajja tukabera kumpi.
Ngara.
Kaine emizembe bi.
Gomanyoti.
Okusinzira bwe buza kotiruda.
Yeah, so it's the biggest African music celebration. Yes, we have Shiba, we have Eddie Kenzo, we have YK Benda, we have Juliana. Yeah, so it's really good because they celebrate music from all across
Africa. I've seen very many celebrities jump from one career to another. Have you ever considered hitting the studios and sing a song? How do you rate your singing voice?
I can't even sing to myself.
I know.
Now we don't know who's allowed.
People say that shower singers, you know, when they're in the shower they can sing. I can't even do that.
You don't sing in the shower?
I sing in my head.
You feel the melody?
I just hum, you know, like, it's nothing like that.
I do the same, you're not alone.
Right?
I would never sing for even food, as now
Maria's tried singing, but trust me,
The things I can't do, honestly, singing, dancing.
Yeah, I know you can dance.
Yeah.
I remember that show. What show was it? You are hosting. No,
right?
there's another show you
are
hosting.
Techno
and that other guy. You tried dancing. But how did you feel like when you went back home and watched yourself?
So I think in between the break, Moshi will try to teach us
how to
teach you how to.
Maria, you take care of Moshi a single zina.
We had a competition here and you won.
And
you were there.
And I won.
Mugamba kuzina.
Do you know how many people have tried to teach me how to dance? Like I have one dance move. Like it doesn't matter whether it's hip hop, whether it's dance hall.
Let me see your move.
Which is your favorite song right now?
What's your favorite song?
You and me, Lydia Jasmine.
Okay, let's play you and me. We need to see how Fabiola dances.
You guys.
And of course,
by the way, we are live on Facebook, Galaxy FM 100.2.
Hashtag
and on
Fabiola can
Fabiola's
dance.
page.
Instagram, on my Instagram, Anita Fabiola.
Okay, so you go like the pages, follow the page, and Jakulaba, let me get the song.
Oh, in command.
Where's your Instagram?
He has it.
This is Galaxy TV. This is Galaxy TV. This is Galaxy TV. This is Galaxy TV. This is Galaxy.
Trainer y'omuntu wa Mariati.
In fact, trainer again, they were Mariati na jiwa Fabiola. Fire that trainer.
Ate kale okuzina okwo kwa dance nga kuwedde. Okulala okumanyi.
Okwachi.
Nagambye dda simanyi kuzina kati awo nkoma.
Kati gonyumirwaki ku nsi.
And here was actually general.
Yes.
There are different kinds of men. waliwo abasajja abamu nga ye bwanyiiga agenda kugamba navaina yomba all the time nabimala ebyo nalwana n'okulwana oba nakwata neifala ebyo nabiteeka ku social media then wabawo asirika busirisi kiki opreferinga somebody ali outspoken oba somebody
someone who does what?
Who shows you off online?
Shows you off online.
Expose you.
Okay, this is a thing. Like at this point, things like you said, when he's mad, then he's screaming, and that is immaturity. That is an immature person who doesn't have control of their emotions, and you know they have maybe anger problems. They don't know how to handle themselves, and people like that I don't tolerate because they always say women mature faster than men, and I know that because at my age I'm really mature that I cannot handle certain calibers of men.
How old are you?
Yeah.
She won't say.
I won't say.
She won't say.
And I'm rooting for her.
Yeah.
What must say?
I want to ask you something. Yes, you're someone who posts a lot on your social media, especially Instagram.
Yes.
And you look great.
Yeah.
You post nice pictures of you in different places. And most people that do that are usually termed as slay queens. But we also know that slay queens these days mean something totally different.
Yeah.
For someone who takes her career serious, who is into TV, who is into radio, who is into posting, do you feel like sometimes you're misrepresented because of what you put on social media?
Well, that happens a lot. You know, that happens a lot. Of course, we live in a world where there's so many people. At the end of the day, I'm not going to appeal to each and every person. You understand? At the end of the day, and also at the end of the day, I don't need to. I don't need to prove a point to anyone. I don't need to, as long as I know that I'm not offending anyone and I'm doing my job right and I do it really well, and also I'm progressing myself and also representing and standing for my people. So
have you had people doubt? Have you had people doubt that you can deliver something just because of what they see online or what they've heard about you?
Yes. But at the end of the day, like I'm too positive to actually focus on any kind of negativity. Like I'm in a different kind of zone that I can't even see, or even I can't even let it sink in. Anyhow, like because I've been there before. I've been at a point where everything that they say or everything that they throw at me will bother me.
So you used to cry?
Yes, I have cried before until I was like, if I want to really have longevity in this industry and keep doing what I do and keep working, you know, I can longevity. Yeah. So you can't always listen to what people say because the industry comes with this.
Okay, let's go personal now. Tina, lots of questions coming in. How have you been affected by OTT?
Let me tell you, we're Ugandans. You know, we're Ugandans. At the end of the day, we need some kind of accountability. You know, and I feel like that was the biggest problem. You know, you say, okay, you're going to tax us like this, which is a bit unfair because people don't really have that money. And okay, even if they did, where is the money going to go? You know, that's the biggest problem. And those are the unanswered questions.
Which reminds me, you got some kind of heat on Twitter when you posted something. And then you went off for some time. Tell me about it.
I didn't go off. I continued.
you posted several times and said, you know what? I don't know what's happening here, but...
Yeah, but let me tell you, I will also say that was a bit insensitive of me at that time. And I will say it was the wrong tweets at the wrong time. No, I will not repeat that. What I'm saying though, that was a very sensitive time, and I had a message, you know, to put across, but during the wrong time. You understand? And also, you know, when you're in the court of public, what do they call it? Public court. You can't always win, you know. So I'm not going to go on Twitter. I don't have such Twitter fingers and start fighting or defending myself on Twitter. What I'll do is I'll get a platform where I can actually address it properly and, you know, without having to exchange.
Still about social media, who's the last person you blocked? And what did he do? Or she do?
Does it have to be a he?
You never know. Who was the last person you blocked?
I block people from my social media all the time.
But really go assemble blocking and give us the reason.
The reasons.
Yeah, no, like I said, like I live in a very positive space.
People that are disrespectful?
No, I actually don't. If you bring that to my page, that shows a lot about you. But like there's people that will really constantly harass you. You know, you can post it on my page, they come in my messages and harass me and call you all kinds of things. So when you're persistent at that, I don't know what you're looking for, you know. And then when you click their pages, most times it's a fake page. So I'm like, no, you have to go, you know.
So you block people that harass you?
Yes, constantly. But if you do it and you do it and you do, sometimes
I believe that social media is now an extension of our lives. So the people you surround yourself with now on social media will affect you in a way. If they are negative, they bring negativity into your life. So we have to now treat social media as our
it's part of
community
life and it's
now.
not going anywhere.
It's like how you chase away negative people from your life.
And it's not going anywhere.
Fabiola nze maze banga nga nsaba mukama ankolere ekyamagero. Just nfune ekiro kimu n'omuwala atunulanga gwe. Kyetaagisa kyo okufuna.
Tujja kusibirako.
I've seen very many girls complain. A certain group of people, but in their inboxes, never take some body parts. Why don't you find your body parts down in your inbox?
Yeah, they do.
They do all the
time.
They do, but you block out that kind of nonsense.
Fabiola, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We are really happy to have you today. You can come anytime.
Thank you.
And represent us well at AFRIMMA.
Yes, so people need to go to...
Who is dressing you?
Oh, I have like a couple of designers. I have like 4 designers. I have 2 from Uganda, and then I have my Nigerian designer.
How much have you spent?
Fashion House. On
how many outfits do you look at before you decide this is the one I'm taking?
A couple. Yeah, like many, because I'm very, it is my image and it's part of the job. You know this very well.
And you know when you're out there, it's not even just you, you're representing the whole country.
I represent the whole country, and exactly. So it's part of the job.
That dress you're going to wear at AFRIMMA, how much is it?
I will not say.
We want to know.
I don't know.
You're
that job.
You're the ambassador now.
I don't drop figures.
Don't you figure.
Those that want to get in touch with you, hire you for maybe hosting events or doing, how do they get in touch?
Talent Africa, through Talent Africa. That's my official booking agency. And talentafrica.com, or they can check out their social media. The numbers are there, the emails are there, and that's how they can.
Akasembayo, this very Saturday, there are some students, but we do later. They are going to clean this neighborhood, and they want more celebrities on board.
Okay.
Would you be available?
This Saturday.
This Saturday, 10 a.m.
Okay.
Just to clean it. You have gloves.
Yes, I will not confirm, but I would love to be a part of something like this.
Yeah, and finally, something about your podcast.
Yes, please.
It's different from, so when I go to podcasts, I just type Anita Fabiola or Afro.
Because it's
a different app.
No, it's not. Okay, the minute you download AfriPod, it's right there. The Fabiola, it's right there. Yeah, it's #1 on the show and on the app, so it's right there. You can't miss it.
All right. Any final words?
Just go to www.afrimma.com and vote for your Ugandans, because Ugandans are nominated this year. Let's support. And the other thing, you people, Mundeke. You understand? Like, let people breathe. But anyway.
That's
anyways, but it's been nice being here, and I'm looking forward. There's so much more that I'll be announcing very soon. In terms of work, and also have some merchandise that will be on my website for my fans, for my supporters, and I have a whole makeup line and everything that I'm working on. So I'm looking forward. Anthony Joshua.
Heavyweight boxer currently. Heavyweight boxer Nigeria. British kubanga world champion. Before he was Nigerian, now he's British.